Helgemont gets the steal. Don't put this one toward the one side post. If you saw and the 2023-2024 Bill Long Memorial Cup belongs to the Waterford Sharks. Well, everybody, John Army with you on site for Game 2 of the MIHL semifinals. Let me get into the recap a little bit from the Facebook post sent out yesterday. Again, it just helps to keep updated with all these notes. I appreciate it alongside Frank and Kelly of the Go Live Sportscast. We're here to try to see if the Waterford Sharks will close this one out on a Sunday matinee 1:30 start. A little bit for the Zamboni that just came out here now, so we're going to have about maybe 5-6 extra minutes of pregame. But let me get into these notes here. So for MIHL semifinals game 1, Waterford had a 2-0 lead on Alpena after the first period. As a quick hitter 30 seconds in from Cole Halgermo. Kieran Carlisle followed at 16:07. The Sharks looked spectacular early, but the 45ers kept things even keel a little bit later. They need shots though. Unofficially, the shots on goal were 18-6 to Waterford after 1. In the second period, Alpena made it a 3-1 momentarily on a power play finisher by Ben Henry, but once 4-on-4 hit, Sharks were a volcano. Groff, Polosha, Papandrea had scored a couple times. Keppel had a birthday playoff goal. Justin McComas, shots on goal 2, 40-18. It's 8-1. The final in the third period, there was a couple of goals for Jimmy Brayers and Sean Sharipa, made it 8-3. Make the scoreline a little bit closer. Shots on goal officially listed at 67-27. Alex Struble finished the third period. Graham Payne got the start for the first two, and the Sharks try to look to close it out. Can you pump the volume down? So that's our complete reset as far as everything else. Again, the Sharks have a chance to close this one out in a best of 3. We knew we were going to get an elimination game nonetheless. I wanted to make one other note here as well around the MIHL. Muskegon up 1-0 in their series, as we knew that they would be against the Detroit Warhawks for all things considered, but the score line was 5-2. And that was one of the ones that really caught my eye as far as all that. Again, I'm not going to try to speculate or reiterate too much, but that is one of the things when you think about last year for the Muskegon Voyagers, correct, with the Kalkaska Battlers that moved on from the APHL. There was a couple of one-goal games in games 1 and games 2. The second one was an OT game, but for a 2-22 squad to keep that at a 5-2 score line, we'll see what happens on Sunday. As I'll follow along, probably give you that update as we get into the third period for the Muskegon Voyagers and the Warhawks, but nonetheless, that will be the Sharks' next opponent if they get the job done today. If the Alpena 45ers even this series up at a game apiece, they will play at Northern Lights Arena on next Saturday. The one change that I saw, I know it wasn't officially posted by the Sharks, but from what we had out here, it looks like Elijah Gibbons is going to get the start in net tonight for Game 2. Rule Galong did an excellent job in Game 1, only gave up a couple of goals, especially in that third, but the Sharks, with an 8-1 lead, were kind of playing the defensive game that they needed to do to make sure that they could toke away the win, and that's exactly what they did. I have all of the Game 1 starters still circled. We'll see if the Sharks make any adjustments. Again, at number 2, Cole Halgamo. Number 10, Zach Molkowski. Number 16, Kieran Carlisle. 23, Hunter Keppel. Number 61, Andrew Polosha. Number 63, Alex Gregorich. Number 71, Spencer Bowman. Number 91, Justin McComas. And number 96, Brian Danielson round out the forwards from Game 1. On defense, number 5, Nick Rapandria. Number 6, Theo Goody. Number 20, Jake Prower, the Highland, Michigan native. Number 25, Joseph Gibbs. Number 26, Jared Siegel. Number 29, Tyler Groff. Number 77, Luke Formica was the Game 1 defensive starters. Again, Rogalong got the start in game 1, and Justin Yoakum backed them up, but it looks like Elijah Gibbons will be getting the start in game 2. If anything changes, I will let you know. As far as the 45ers and for Miles Griggs' squad, I would imagine it's still going to be number 1 Graham Payne and number 37 Alex Struble in the goal crease. Struble again played that third period as the Zebras now starting to get on the ice again. We have those camera shots back there for you that I saw from the monitor of the players coming out on the ice as we usually get in the start of it. As we got that now as the Sharks, you see Polosha. You got Ruben Galong actually skating down the ice as well, so see if he's going to get into the lineup today. But the Sharks know what they have to do. Again, I'll just make this note as well. So last season, the Sharks were 19-4-1 in the regular season. This year, they're 18-4-2, remarkably consistent as they ended it. They start the playoffs with a 1-0 record after the 8-3 win. They were 5-0. Again, they swept their way through the Gaylord Snow. Now the Alpena 45ers in the best of 3 winning 2, and then taking all 3, having to start on the road against Muskegon. And you know what? If they win today, it kind of makes you think about those same types of dreams. It makes you think about the possible reality of defending the MIHL title and winning the Bill Long Memorial Cup. Again, as I mentioned a little bit in Game 1 through some of the interviews, talking on the phone side of it between Spencer Bowman and Alex Gregorich, some of the stuff that you've seen posted on Hopeless Sports Guy. A lot of those same things. Sharks knew exactly what they wanted to do coming into this season, and that was repeat. They have all of the same prospects, a lot of the same players here. They have the same designs of the team and what they want to do and what they can accomplish and all the players to do it. All that's left to go out to do is go on the ice and get the job done. And again, as you mentioned, in between Gregorich and everything else, you build that from Indiana Tech. You build the Sharks program from the Waterford Wheel and now the Sharks. And you look like you're on a collision course with Muskegon, as it was expected to be. And once they get the job done today, if they can do so, that will be all that's left. And then we'll figure out a little bit later throughout this broadcast, once we know things are finalized, kind of give you an idea, a little guesstimate of when I think the MIHL finals will start. Alpena is going to have a lot to say about it, though, once the puck drops. But my regards, they're going to have to go early. We're going to pause for the anthems, and we'll get into the game.
Welcome to Lakeland Arena for Game 2 of our 3-game matchup between the Waterford Sharks and the Alpena 45ers. Starting on the Alpena 45ers, number 9, Cam Bernicki. Number 88, Roddy Person. Number 7, Patty Smith. Number 18, Cam Fisher. Number 63, Sean Strippa. And in net, number 37, Alex Struble. And for your Waterford Sharks, number 2, Cole Helgamo. Number 10, Zach Malkowski. Number 6, Theo Goody. Number 5, Nick Papandrea. Number 71, Spencer Bowman. And in net, number 49, Elijah Gibbons. Please rise for the national anthem.
So proudly we had the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars
So from an 8-3 final last night into Game 2, the Waterford Sharks have a 1-0 series lead in this best of 3. The winner is going to move on to the MIHL finals, where they'll likely play the Muskegon Voyagers again. I'll have that update for you once we get closer to the start of the third period. I'll go around social media and see what I can dig up. It's Elijah Gibbons in the goal crease. Again, he's going to be the new starter for Game 2. Alex Struble, who was the backup in the third period, will get the start in Game 2. Graham Payne will get set to be the backup here in Game 2. So let's get set to get underway at Lakeland Ice Arena. My name's John Ott, alongside the Go Live Sportscast, Frank and Kelly. I appreciate you guys being along with us right now, and we will see what we will get. Nick Papandrea off the opening draw, and this one's intercepted by Sharipa. He tried to lift it off the backhand, and that was a decent design by the left side of the post, as Ronnie Person will go ahead and give chase. And Alpena, if they can come out with their hair on fire and try to get some shots against the new star in Elijah Gibbons for Game 2, maybe they can see what they can do. But they have to have this game if they want to keep their season alive. Again, that's all it is in it. Best of 3. It only takes a couple of wins, and then that's done. So this will be picked up now here for Roddy Person for a moment, as the Sharks will send it back in. Go ahead and get some reinforcements, make some changes. It's picked up by Tim Schmidt. Try to kick this one off the glass. Sharks will intercept here. Siegel, walk-in wrister. Missed it all as this goes in toward the right side red line. As this will be just taken away there, away from the Sharks, who's Zach Malkowski. And now to the blue line, so Malkowski turnaround shot. And this one's actually going to bleed through. That's not a very good goal for Struble to give up at a 19:01. It was 19:30 yesterday. At 19:01, Zach Malkowski, I don't even think that was screened. I'm going to take a look at this on the replay side now. Sharks able to hold this one in momentarily on the blue line side once we get to that camera cut. He just shoots this one in from the really midpoint, and that one I think is going to bleed right through Struble and go in the net in the 19:01. So Zach Malkowski should be the one getting credit for the goal, number 10 at 19:01. Once we get the official announcements, I'll send that across to you from the board, as this is flipped now toward the right side of the glass. And the Sharks, Andrew Polosha, able to go ahead and take this one away on the backhand. Work his way toward the left side post, and that was saved by Struble. So Spencer Bowman and Jared Siegel are going to go ahead and get the primary and secondary assist on Malkowski's goal. And the Sharks are already on the same point they were yesterday, maybe just 29 seconds behind, but that's not much of a difference here. So you're going to have to push the other way. You know, here's Polosha. You got Kieran Carlisle with him on the backhand side. Polosha went to try to go for it all, as Max Campbell will send it in again. He's another new starter there from Game 2. Chris Seeley also in there, going to get some reps here in this second game. He did not play in Game 1. As this is now in across the left side red line, sent in from 100 feet and solved to the left side dot there by Gibbons. As the Sharks look to break out right to left again, they are in the home blacks in the mix of the orange and white striping and cream color for the Alpena 45ers. Chris Seeley plays the bank, try to send this across the goal mouth, and now this will be toward the left side red line as Alpena will look to escape with it here. Played in toward the left side post. Good stand-up, knock away, and alongside for Joel Skolin. And the Sharks will try to press the other way off a long shot just to McComas. This goes off of Struble's right pad. Sent in now by Spencer Bowman, who makes a smart play as the Sharks go back on the prowl. A little bit of a forecheck there as Bowman now decides to back off, and Skolin gets dispossessed. Malkowski's already got one. He's looking for a second one, hits it up high, does not dislodge the mask of Struble, and then it's played off the backside of his skate. A breakaway attempt the other way. That one's going to get negated there as Roddy Person got there first, and now Nick Papandrea trying to get some last reinforcements. Roddy Person play this one off the backhand dangerously. It goes in. It bounced in a couple times. It bounced around Gibbons, and Alpena makes it a 1-1 game with 16:48. So after that save off of Malkowski from Struble, puck was sent all the way down the ice the other way. A little bit of a pinball with the traffic out in front, and Alpena will make it a 1-1 game. Immediate shot will go up and out of play as we get a stoppage at 16:40.
16 minutes and 48 seconds of the first period. Goal scored by number 63, Sean Shrippa, assisted by number 88, Ronnie Person.
So Sean Sharipa already has a primary goal, and primary assist will go to Ronnie Person, make it 1-1. There's traffic out toward the right side. Cole Helgamo was taken down, and the play at the net was stopped by Struble. You don't want to mess around with what John Stonehouse affectionately calls the junkyard dog and Cole Helgamo. Again, I haven't used that line in a while, but he can pretty much do it all. I kind of think of number 2 as Brendan Shanahan a la type offense, defense, fighting, whatever you need, he can get that done. He can play some first line minutes. Kind of akin that to the today of Sam Bennett of the Florida Panthers, as this one will be knocked away over the moment. And Sharks Malkowski look for a centering feed for Goody as shot it from the point. It takes a crazy bounce away from Strubel's pads. He closed the 5-hole, and now Alpena try to brace the other way. Papandrea will win the hybrid ice. That negates it all. And now Whittle stutter stepping behind his own end, the left side red line, as the Sharks will look to break out. Helgamo open on the right side wing. Papandrea going to go ahead and take the easier pass to Malkowski. Nice little toe drag. Work his way toward the left side red line, takes a hit, able to stay on his feet as the Sharks work in behind the net, try to center a feed out. Spencer Bowman's got it at the point. He'll take the pass across left side, dot shot from an angle, and that was saved by Struble from Helgamo as Helgamo hunts the puck in the corner. Opportunity now, good to dispossess for Spencer Bowman, but he's just going to go back on defense here. Kind of wondering if he's just going to play that today on this side, but again, two-way responsibility for the captaincy, number 71. Alpena and Miles Grix's squad is in a full line change. As Spencer Bowman will send this one back alongside Andrew Polosha. Polosha now on his backhand, power move. It's a 1-on-4. Polosha still with it, drive in toward the net. That one saved by Struble. Now he's trying to get around 3 different 45ers. Hunter Keppel, birthday man, scored a goal the other day in a win. I shared that alongside with Josh Hill and Hunter Keppel and myself. It was a lot of fun. Picked up now for Justin McComas in his own end. McComas braced for some contact. Still got that in behind the cage. Just trying to work to get the puck out right now, but Joe Scolin's not making his life any easier. The Sharks now try to get some reinforcements with 14:40 left to go in this first. It's a 1-1 game between Alpena and Waterford. Again, Alpena needs this one to try to play at Northern Lights next week. If not, the Sharks will move on to the MIHL finals. Chance at the net. There's a lot of traffic. Deflected a couple times, and it was stopped by the left pad of Struble. Kieran Carlisle now tries to get this in the offensive end. Chance out in front and missed. That was a little bit high for Keppel as it's kept in now by the Sharks defense. Again, a lot of the forwards there playing their right responsibilities. A good rotation on the ice right now. Got the puck on a string for the Sharks. Opportunity here for Sharipa off the full pirouette. This is a great pass across, but they just couldn't find it. There was Tom Myers could have walked in, and the Sharks a little bit fortunate to break away from that. Played in off the glass now. Siegel was offsides as to brace for a hit. Tom Myers was wide open. He just couldn't receive that puck. Otherwise, Elijah Gibbons would have had to stop a breakaway. 13:53 left to go, and this first really just getting started. It's a 1-1 game. McComas and Formica taking out some signs of what they want to do. And McComas won that one very clean, but I think the ref said they dropped it too early. Cameron Fisher will be the opposition. And McComas, this one off the tie-up. Good pickup there. Always love to see when your defensemen or your forwards can go in there and help you win it. Jake Prober does it. Now the Sharks try to take this one D to D. It's Chris Sealer looking off the back skate, but Jake said he's going to do it himself. Try to look this full outsail pass out of their own end. Good dispossess there. Roddy Person tried to send this one out. This bounce into the netting. Thank goodness we have that over here because we got some expensive equipment. If I take a puck to the head, nobody's going to be able to do the play-by-play over here, I wouldn't imagine. Got a lot more sights and sounds from the Red Rink side as Sharks trying to close this one out, move on to the MIHL finals where they'll likely play against the Muskegon Voyagers. Again, that would be a matchup for 3 straight seasons. Sharks have tasted victory and defeat at the hands of the Muskegon Voyagers, and you know Muskegon wants their comeuppance and their revenge. Max Campbell on a one-on-one will take the wrister, and that'll be held easily in the breadbasket by Struble. So glad you can join us here for this matinee day game at the Lakeland Ice Arena in the red rink. Again, blue is some cement resurfacing, so I think we're going to be playing in the red nonetheless. We got at least one more game in the finals, should that come to it, as this is picked up now for Formica, and that was 3 straight saves for Struble, this time with the left pad, as the Sharks now continue to battle with it, and behind the net, looks like Max Campbell getting tied up. Chris Seeley now in the hunt toward the high slot, and a little bit of a back check there for Seeley just to make sure that there wasn't any jailbreak down the middle for Mika. Now working with it, number 77, here's a clean pass. Big a wrister, this one is high up into the glove. Alongside for Nick Redmond, I think I saw a number 9 sighting on the ice. I don't want to have my eyes deceive me here. Cole Halgamo waiting on the wing, as this one is one defensive face-off zone draw for Alpena. Try to see what they can do left to right from this first. Try to look for a long outstretch pass as Papandreou will get this one now toward the right side boards. Cross ice feed. This is going to be an excellent chop here for the Sharks. Slow up here. Theo Goody can walk in and take a wrister. That one is closed off. 5-hole brush from the right corner for Struble. As it had been a busy man here in this first. It's still a 1-1 game. Now to the right side boards, Papandreou on his back skate, holds the line. This is given here for Spencer Bowman. He risks one way wide. Goody, now Halgamo trying to hunt the puck, and Goody can't watch this one across that blue line. He's got to skate all the way back. Not too much to do on that vulcanized rubber that flipped. Sharks can start again right to left. Here's a long pass, and alongside for Spencer Bowman. See what he can do, and behind the net, Theo Goody and Cole Halgamo now trying to go ahead and pick this one up. The stick goes flying out away from the camera shot. Sharks emerge with it. Here's a long wrister. It's going to bounce in. Struble had it one time, but he didn't get it the second time. And right at 11:36 and a shot from the left circle, that one's going to end up beating Struble as we take another look at this. Long wrister. And the rebound's going to end up going in. This should be credit there to Siegel. I think he was the one that let it fly. So I'm going to give it to Jared Siegel. We'll get the announcement officially, but number 26 right at the 11:36 marker makes it 2-1 off the turnaround now.
Goal scored by number 71, Spencer Bowman, assisted by number 2, Cole Helgeman, and number 10, Zach Malkowski.
So Bowman from Helgamo and Zach Malkowski. That is your official at 11:36. As this will be a rolling puck. Sent back around now, just to McComas. Play some D-side duty and get everyone all set up here. Pass right up the gut will get picked off by Michael Perry. Perry now still with it, racing toward the right side. Dot and Elijah Gibbons will find that one as he stretches out with the left pad. We're almost halfway through the first stanza. Sharks now have retaken the lead at 2-1. Be a D-zone draw upcoming. Looks like Kieran Carlisle is going to take it alongside Jack Vautour. Again, Vautour, 9 games in the regular season, 11 goals, 13 assists, 24 points for the 45ers. He's one to watch. Chris Seeley now. This one's coughed up, and a great back check alongside for the Sharks, as that was an excellent play to knock it away. And now the Sharks get a chance here off of a 3-on-2. Here's a drop for Polosha. We'll circle back behind the net, trying to send a dangerous feed out in front. Sharks still with it. Here's a walk-in chance for Mika as the right pad save for Struble's. Hunter Keppel gets a puck retrieval. Keppel now takes the wrister. Struble with another save as we're right at the halfway point. Sharks hunting the puck and toward the right side boards. Here's a Crisscross pass here for Seeley. Try to feed this one right on the backhand side, and what a beautiful finish there for the Sharks. It's Andrew Polosha. That was an excellent goal, and it's 3-1. Sharks were very patient and toward the right side boards until Polosha got a backhand right in front of the slot. No chance for Struble, as Polosha again already had a goal last night, so that's going to give him officially, I believe, 37 now as we go into the playoffs with 65 points. So Sharks take a 3-1 lead. Again, we've already had more event in this first period than we did in game one when it was just 2-0 Sharks. Papandrea send this one across, and this one will go right in again. Right in off the ensuing draw. Papandrea will send the feed across. Chanson from the point is going to go right in at 9:38. And the Sharks are doing a lot of damage here early. And Alpena might be thinking about what's next. They're going to have to do so very quickly here. So in between the first announcement, I don't think we got that with all the horns. So we'll set that one again.
Andrew Polosha, assisted by number 16, Kieran Carlisle, and number 24, Christopher Seeley. Our fourth goal of the game at 9 minutes and 38
So
seconds.
Polosha from
91.
Kieran Carlisle
Justin
and
McComas,
Seeley.
assisted by number 6, Theo Moody, and number 5, Nick Papandrea.
And then Justin McComas from Theo Goody and Nick Papandrea. That was just about 15 seconds later as we get a whistle. So get those all squared away for you. Again, you have the mix of Andrew Polosha, who just scored on the back end at 9:54, from Kieran Carlisle and Chris Seeley. And then 15 seconds later, Justin McComas, who saw that shot in from the point, and alongside Theo Goody and Nick Papandrea to get you all caught up. The Sharks, it's a 4-1 lead. Again, it was 2-0 after one in the first game last night. Sean Sharipa picking up his twig as things are going to start to get a little bit physical here, but Alpena's going to need a lot more than that. They're also going to need shots. And Cole Helgebo, if Spencer Bowman could have made that pass, it would have been absolutely insane. Helgebo now will try to shoot a sharp angle chance. It actually bounced right in front of the goal mouth and Roddy Person, as Helgebo was going to not leave him alone and now finish his check there. Just a little bit of a rat race for Cole. And he's not really a stranger to that. A little bit of a Brad Marchand type if you want to go that part. Here is a long outstretch. Cole kisses this one off the glass to Spencer Bowman. Here's a drop for Cole right at the net. That was designed for Molkowski. There's a save and then a whistle at 8:16. Shots on goal already looking lopsided. And if you think that there was going to be any difference in from game one, again, I will mention to you forthright, Graham Payne was terrific in that first period. And see if we need any net repairs. Again, a couple of games ago, before we ended the regular season, there was a stoppage for net repairs. There's a hole in the net. It looked like a coal bin. But it was an excellent game for Graham Payne in the first couple of periods, but the Sharks just overwhelmed them with chances. It's kind of looking that same way now early. Here's a long wrister that'll catch the netting. And really the only way you can rectify that if you're Alpena is you got to get shots on the other end, and you got to find a way to stay out of the box. Again, they committed roughly 5 infractions last night, and that's just about 4 too many. If you can keep this within 1 or 2, you got a happenstance chance against any of these teams. And look out over there off a rolling puck. Hunter Keppel going to take the wrister as this one will be solved into the right side boards. It goes right into a Sharks rebound. Funnel this one to the red line. Keppel now gets the retrieval off the sauce. Send this one back over the point. Kieran Carlisle spin. Try to keep it in his own end. Shovel it into the corner as Chris Seeley try to play that back line defense. A little bit too long there for Micah. Start this one again here for Kieran Carlisle. Here's a back pass. Good spot to shoot. And the Sharks score again. Hunter Keppel. Things get a little nasty here as it's 5-1. A little razzle-dazzle for the Sharks. For Micah, Keppel, great design. They kept it in above the point. Chris Seeley with the pass across. That's just a walk-in snipe. I don't care who you are. You're not stopping that at 7:27. So Keppel got his second in as many days, and the Sharks comfortably up 5-1 as Justin McComas will win this one straight back. Again, Elijah Gibbons might be thinking the same thing as me. Might need a pillow in the back of the goal crease here if the Sharks continue to do what they're doing. Press on now here for Ruben DeLong. Rebound opportunity and be held by Struble.
Assisted by number 16, Kieran Carlisle, and number 61, Andrew Paluja.
So Paluja and Carlisle already picking up a couple points in this game, and Keppel with the latest. And Alpena's got to stop this right here if they want any sort of chance to get back into this game. Sharks get one more. You might already write this one off. Again, it is tax season as this one goes up the outside of the post. And now a rolling puck the other way will be flipped in here for Theo Goody. As the Sharks, Justin McComas almost gets that steal. And a long outstretched pass here to take this the other way for Joel Skolin. Wrister will be closed 5-hole for Elijah Gibbons. Again, Gibbons was reacquired in the side for a 1-for-1 in future considerations of the two-time MVP Trevor Pode. But in between him and his wife since giving birth and a lot of other stuff, again, these guys play for the love of hockey and everything else. I don't think Pode was able to travel here, so not having him in the lineup is definitely a hole. Again, he played alongside the Gaylord Snow last year when these two teams met, but that's a lot of offense that Alpena doesn't have right now, and they're in a stretch to try to find it as Max Campbell trying to keep this alive at the line, finishes off a couple of checks. He's really getting tied up alongside with Sean Sharipa, and I would be surprised if he want to go. Max Campbell throwing a couple of bombs. Sharipa takes him down. That fight's going to end quickly. They were right near the players' bench, and things were getting a little bit feisty off some pushing and shoving as the sticks were up high. And I was not surprised to see that one go with some taps in there for each other, but things were getting a little testy near the bench. And now Sharipa and Campbell. Sharipa throws out another fist a little bit late as they've already exchanged some hands. I think he wants to get some cheap shots in just because of that score line. So take a look at this, and near the camera shot, it was Campbell and Sharipa doing some battle. Justin McComas off the pin. Campbell gives him a little how do you do off that push. Sharipa doesn't like it. Campbell doesn't like it either. And then they square off. And toward the right side boards Campbell with a couple of serious overhands before Sharipa gets that takedown and tries to finish off a little bit of his own with a little bit of a smelly glove at 6:25. So welcome to the gun show here. And alongside some of those fights, again, nothing new to me alongside the MIHL, but for any new viewers that are joining us in this Game 2 of the MIHL semifinals, hope you had some fun with that one. So Wes McCauley in the NHL would give a little 5 for fighting and then throw out the fist. Again, we're not going to see that there, but that's what we're going to have on both sides. Sharks, right now, it looks like they might have some sort of instigating penalty, is what I'm seeing on the score sheet. We can count the personnel on the ice. And I see 4, so I do think the Sharks are going to be at a disadvantage. That will put Alpena at the power play. But 5 for fighting, at least for both sides. But I think an instigator penalty is going to be charged to Max Campbell. When it's all said and done, Spencer Bowman's going to take this D-zone draw. And Alpena is going to get an abbreviated, not say abbreviated, it's a full 2-minute there for them off an instigator. As we'll start this one again for Michael Perry. Try to find an entry here as Ronnie Person. Try to collect this toward the right side dot, and a pass was not really connected there. Sharks can't lawn flip it there. Papandra's got too much laundry out in front of him. Cole Halgamo and one of the other Sharks were out there a little bit of a jailbreak. Could have been a 2-on-0, but that would have been a tough pass to make. Here's an opportunity. Nice toe drag, backhand. Oh, it was stopped by Gibbons. And then a rebound is going to go into the net. And that's a power play goal for the Alpena 45ers. As my notes are starting to get a little bit long, thankfully I got 2 sheets of paper. But it's a power play goal here for Alpena at 5:46. Gibbons made a Herculean first stop, but the second one, no chance for him to do anything on that rebound. And it's starting to look a little nuts here in this first game as we already got 7 goals. And it's 5:46 left to go in the first frame. We still got another 2 periods of 20 minutes. Opportunity now to maybe settle things down. Who knows? As Kieran Carlisle now work his way on the forehand toe drag. Try to look for a little bit of a snipe as this one's knocked away. And Alpena might have some numbers here. Off the one back skate, here's a good dispossess alongside with the Sharks. Good 200-foot game there for number 16. As this will be shoveled back in behind the defense. And the Sharks look to break out. Here's an opportunity here for Seeley on the back skate. We'll like to go for some help here. Seeley now sends this one across the point. So Cam Fisher and Mike Perry. Cameron Fisher gets the power play goal, makes it a 5-2 game. As this one sent in behind the net. Here's a touch pass right out in front, and Struble able to knock that away with the stick. As this goes to the right side corner, Kieran Carlisle now. Number 16's had a long shift, and rolling puck will go outside the zone. So everybody got to retreat so we don't go off sides. Chris Seeley will use this off the embankment. Good pass ahead for Hunter Keppel, trying to leave it there alongside for Kieran. He'll brace for some contact. Again, if you shove that alongside the numbers, that's how you're going to get a penalty. So you got to make sure when you show that, you can't throw those hits out, just for any of the newer viewers. As this will be a long outstretched pass for Keppel, shoveled in the left side blue line, and the Sharks, in the midst of Dirk Thur's squad, will take full sail changes. Alpena now trying to go left to right for the rest of this first period. Again, they just got a power play goal to the good, but they have iced it at 4:09. As we get some drop kick Murphys here. Again, I love all those sponsorship shout outs that they got alongside Go Live Sportscast set up there alongside with the Sharks. Can't have any of these casts without all of you guys out there and alongside Go Live and everybody out there too. Thank you for joining in with us. As this is now a offensive zone draw win for the Sharks. Picked up here, Milkowski going to shoot it from a sharp angle. We try to relocate the biscuit here. Toward the left side, Cole Halgamo now. Spencer Bowman get the retrieval, send it toward the right side point. And a long sauce pass out of the air. Chris Seeley, slow shot toward the net. Halgamo try to get an outstretched stick reach. Chris Seeley now still doing work as the Sharks get some possession. Are we going to get any tripping call? I don't see any hands in the air as this is now in toward the right side boards, but all the refs say that things are clean. 3:29 left to go in the first. I'm trying to look to see if we get any hands. Spencer Bowman a little bit upset, and I don't blame him because a couple of the Sharks went down and alongside the right side boards. I thought there was a tripping. I want to be a company man. I thought there was a couple of trippings that could have been called. Now Alpena wants a clarification as well. I think I do as well. It looks like Waterford is the one that's going on the penalty, and I don't know, honestly, if that is the right call at this moment. Sharks still up by 3, so it should not matter. But Alpena does get an opportunity to open the door again as a shot in from the point. Rebound opportunity knocked away with the stick by Gibbons. And we'll see if Papandrea can get this one outside the zone. As it's just kept in alongside for James Reurse. Again, he had a 7-goal game in the regular season, just a couple games before we started the playoffs. So number 20 is one to watch. Again, doesn't have Trevor Pode with him, as we mentioned, couldn't make the trip. Reurse now with it at the point, takes the clapper. That one is solved by Gibbons.
Waterford Sharks penalty at 5 minutes and 21 seconds of the first period. Number 71 serves 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike.
So Bowman gets an unsportsmanlike. This one into the traffic. Kieran Carlisle. He's got Riers back there with him. Andrew Polosha joined up the gut. Carlisle, cross pass. And that was finished off alongside Carlisle and Polosha. How about that? A short-handed goal for the Waterford Sharks. Riers, I thought he was a hair's breadth away from making it 5-3, but instead it is 6-2. Shot was not a bad one for Riers, but once Carlisle was able to take off and Polosha joined him up the rush, again you have those two at the puck, you're already asking for trouble. That's like Kane and DeBrincat. So in sportsmanlike with Bowman in the box doesn't matter. Sharks score anyway. And Polosha and Carlisle are going to team up for that one.
2 minutes and 50 seconds of the first period. Goal scored by number 61, Andrew Polosha. Assisted by number 16, Kieran Carlisle. And number 49, Elijah Gibbons.
So wouldn't you know, Elijah Gibbons is going to pick up an assist. You don't normally get that alongside with the goalie, but you take it. I had to pause and look on my sheet and forget, oh yeah, Elijah Gibbons is number 49. As this one is a windmill cross, just missed the left side of the post. We'll try to pick this one back up now for Roman Schmidt as it's knocked away toward the right side boards, and we'll see who can collect in between the zebras. Here was a hefty battle to the left side red line. This is sent right toward Gibbons. He makes the save, and the Sharks able to send this one safely down the ice because they're still on the kill here for about 20 more seconds. They already got a shorthanded goal to talk about, but 8 goals in this first already. Sharks get the steal. What are they going to do here? Here's a wrister. This one stopped by Struble. And you kind of wonder if you want to go back to Grand Payne. It's not Struble's fault. There's a lot of shots that were faced. Good reverse hit, body contact. Cole Halgamo looking like a bull in a china shop. So Bowman able to escape the prison there in the penalty box. This one's tipped out of the air. That would have been a pretty nasty goal if the Sharks could have scored there alongside McComas, but we'll get a stop with 1:22. So 6-2 is officially your score line for anyone else following at home. Again, we'll get all that stuff updated there for you. There's been a lot, so I don't blame anyone down there. There's been a lot to keep track of. Again, for my notes, I'm going to have to flip the back side of my page at some point, as this will be toward the right side dot. And Alpena coughs it right up off the draw, and a slapper there gets tipped from McComas, but still saved there by Struble. This is not the way for the 45ers and alongside, again, formerly the Gaylord Snow, that they really wanted to start this game. They've just given up so many. McComas able to kick that one away from the skate blade. Keppel send this one across the goal mouth, and now McComas gets a chance to pick this one up. Start again now for Siegel, back to Justin. A little up end on the other side. The Sharks wanted a call, they're not going to get one. Here's an opportunity for Keppel, though. The best medicine score again. Keppel tried to send this one here for Polosha near the back post, and that was awfully close. Hand in the air now, rebound doesn't matter, they score. It's Polosha, his hat trick in the first. So Andrew Polosha with a first period hat. How does that sound to you, Sharks fans? 7-2. And now we are really in the territory. I did not say this yesterday. I was kind of thinking of the over-under when it was an 8-1 game. Will the Sharks get to 10? I don't think they're going to need to do much more here. And now Cole Helgamo going to be able to have some words alongside Cordy Bordeaux. I think they're just going to go ahead and exchange pleasantries, and I mean that in the nice way. So after the center ice zone draw, here is Bordeaux. Slapper. This one catches the above side of the mesh.
Number 18 for the Alpena 45ers after 33 seconds of the first for roughing. 43 seconds of the first, scored by number 61, Andrew Beluga, assisted by number 26, Jared Siegel, and number 23, Hunter Pepper.
So Siegel and Keppel, again, as it's a 7-2 lead now for the Sharks. And I wouldn't want to say they're in coast territory with 2 more periods to go, but I could probably say that at the mid of the second, because they're feeling pretty comfortable here. This was a dominating offensive display in the first. Again, they probably could have had more in game 1. Off the touch, that's near the backside post, does not go in. And the Sharks end the first. They are in the driver's seat, ladies and gentlemen. 7-2. Andrew Pawlusha already with a first period hat trick, and that kind of set the tone here. And even off the shorthanded side, Sharks doing what they need to do, taking care of business, and they know what it's all about here. There's already been a bunch of taps in alongside for Elijah Gibbons, and we have 2 more periods to go still, and that kind of feels like a post-game celebration, but I promise you it's not. We still got another 40 minutes. So we'll get all Zamboni'd here. I'll get all squared away on the Facebook side, give you the recap, give you some scoring updates around the league. We'll talk in a bit. All right, everybody, we're going to get started here with the second period. It was an avalanche of goals. Give you a little bit of the reset there alongside the Sharks steamroller in full effect. Again, Sean Sharip on Cam Fisher did score for the 45ers. That was a good news for that, but it's a first period hat for Andrew Polosha. Zach Molkowski, Spencer Bowman, Tristan McComas, and Hunter Keppel all scored. 7-2 to the first. Elijah Gibbons getting the start here in Game 2, and Alex Struble backed him up. I want to mention a welcome and a thank you to everybody following along YouTube at the Go Live Sportscast channel, GoLiveSportscast.com per usual, and TCL channel 3080, the Go Live Sportscast. My name's John Ott, alongside Frank and Kelly of the Go Live Sportscast. This is Game 2 of the MIHL semifinals. It is a best of 3. So if the Sharks take care of their business today, which they're already well in the line of doing so, they will probably head against the Muskegon Voyagers for a third straight season. I'm going to find those updates for you once we get past from our next intermission. So at the start of the third period, I'll give you that update. As far as anything else for March Madness, I just want to mention, again, for the Michigan State Spartans, they will be in action tonight against the New Mexico Aztecs at 8:40. That's going to start a little bit late tonight. Again, you're going to have a pretty good matchup on the back end as well for Oregon and Arizona at 9:40. And I know I haven't followed the Iowa State Cyclones in a while, but when they laid the smackdown on the Kansas Jayhawks, I have them as my winner outright. We'll see if that ends up holding water still. They were number 1 in the nation for quite a while when they were battling the Auburn Tigers. But that's my look out there for the NCAA bracket today, and alongside yesterday, it was a 6-3 loss for the Red Wings against the Vegas Golden Knights. And effectively, when we talk about the Red Wings season, that might already be done. Again, you got about 12 to 13 games left in the season for most of these. You still got the Calgary Flames in the hunt in the West, and everything else in the East looks to be a little bit decided. The Montreal Canadiens might have their rebuild already in full effect, as you got some pretty good players there alongside Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, and Juraj Slafkowski. So we'll see what ends up taking place as far as the NHL, but in the MIHL, this is Game 2. We're in the Red Rink. My name is John Ott, alongside you at Lakeland Ice Arena. We'll get settled here for this next set of 40 in this middle stanza. So puck drop underway, and Nick Papandrea will get things started. We'll send the cross-ice pass. We'll flip this one again. And again, I didn't mention to see too many other players here. Again, Alex Gregorich didn't get a chance to start today, but this one sniped in immediately right in off the draw. And a little how do you do there alongside for Nick Papandrea on the line. And we're going to start the gravy train again. I mentioned the steamroller in the first. Well, we're already going to start that one again in the second. So as we look at 1943, I want to make sure that we don't shut off anything on the YouTube side, so I got to make sure that I talk a little bit, just in case anything else goes on through the music, as this is flipped all the way to the right side red line and picked off. Alpena does have numbers here. They're going to try to look for a rebound through the left side post, and that's not going to happen.
19 minutes, 43 seconds of the second period. Goal scored by number 5, Nick Papandrea. Assisted by number 6, Theo Moody. Number 10, Zach Malkowski.
So Goody and Molkowski, and then the Sharks will score again. So as soon as I get all that stuff on the score sheet, we're already getting another one in 1918. And we might be at the point already. I'll just say this is plain as day. Sharks are never going to call off the dogs on this side, but they might already be at the point where Alpena is going to wave the white flag, because we are essentially, it was an 8-3 score line yesterday. It's 9-2 now. We still got 19-18 left to go in the second period, but the things are getting really off the rails in this second game. And it's a shame for Alpena, because Gaylord Snow were 17-7 last year.
Scored by number 2, Cole Helgamo. Assisted by number 10, Zach Malkowski.
So Zach Molkowski already with a pair of assists in this period alone. And Nick Papandrea and Cole Helgamo continuing the damage, as this faceoff is won by Kieran Carlisle. They chopped out of the air. Siegel Should have let this one go into the off the backhand attempt will go off the outside of the cage. As Graham Payne now in the goal crease here for Alpena. So it was Struble in the first, Payne in the second. Again, you could switch goaltenders as much as you want, but it looks like Payne, I would imagine, is going to play this last stretch of 40 minutes. So both goaltenders essentially get about 60 minutes of action all the way across the board within the two games. And a delayed icing will be called against the Sharks. Fresh off a line change for them, so it's not going to matter all too much. But we have 2 goals in the span of about 58 seconds. And Nick Papandrea and Cole Hogemo. 9-2 scoreline, already more than we got pretty much yesterday. And I think we're already going to get to that again. As Polosha already had a hat trick in the first period. Try to leave it back to him, even wide open near the right side post. Rolling puck stays in play. And just eludes the zebra as Justin McComas start this one in his own end. Here's a rolling puck just outside that blue line. Outstretched reach there for Kieran Carlisle. Try to hunt this puck out deep off the backhand. Here's a deflected chance. And this will be toward the right side boards as we settle back down alongside with Cordy Bordeaux. We'll see if Cameron Bernicki can do something in the captaincy and from the point for Alpena. As the shot gets deflected off a couple of defense. Papandrea will go ahead and send this one down off the flip. McComas stays on the ices. They get some other fresh troops. Here's a good pass in toward the right side circle. Try to nutmeg the defense as the Sharks lost it there momentarily off the deflection, and now James Riers try to send this one the other way as it got knocked away from Brian Bjornholm. Elijah Gibbons will stop it in behind the goal crease. About 17:25 left to go in the second period. My name is John Ott. Thank you for joining me in Game 2 of the MIHL semifinals alongside Go Live Sportscast. Chance out in front, and Justin McComas off a one-knee tap toward the right post. That was pretty nasty, and the Sharks continue the onslaught. Toward the right side post, Justin McComas can walk in. I mean, what is Payne supposed to do there? So Justin McComas scores again. That's going to be the refrain of the night here for the Sharks. Again, I should say in the matinee day game. Going to make you want to wish it was the night on the other side. As this is picked up now for McComas. Now off the deflection from Jake Prober. So Papandrea and Goody getting a ton of points here in this second period. And now McComas off the lift. Sharks still trying to stay with it now as Prober pinched in deep in his own end. Again, McComas has done all the back check work as well when Jake's had to pinch, and that's what I like about it. You got a lot of offensive defensemen. You got some defense when you need it there. You got forwards that are responsible. Everybody's just kind of keeping this on a metronome, as we said there earlier, keeping the space and doing the damage. Putting off the backhand now. This is right off the back skate of Payne. Going to be knocked away into the corner. Chris Seeley didn't have to get to that as Sharks will shovel it around again. Justin McComas. Here's send this one for Micah, and it hit. Ooh, it hit one of the 45ers up toward the dome on the side of Michael Perry. He's trying to get this one out. He's got to be a little bit dazed there. That one hurt him. As the Sharks now backing toward the right side. Here is Seeley. This one bounces off his skate. Try to send it toward the goal mouth. That one's easily picked off the long flip. Sharipa will go ahead and give a look as Elijah Gibbons will just brush this off the backstop. Oh, what a big hit near the right side boards for Micah. He got smoked. And then we get a little push the other way. For Micah wants a piece of Ronnie Person. It looks like he's going to get that near the right side boards. For Micah takes him down. And now they're still throwing big haymakers for Person as he was already down the ice. I don't think they're going to allow that too much. And if I'm the Sharks, I would take exception to that. Because when you're already down on the ice, you don't want to be throwing the big bombs. I don't really like that there for Person, but you really understand that Alpena is upset of the score line. We've already had 3 fights here in Game 2, and the tensions couldn't be any higher, even though the score line's already decided. So for Micah got hit really hard. Chris Seeley coming to his defense, and then Roddy Person goes in. So for Micah, You want to go ahead and take some of this as they go in to exchange some blows for Mike. Got a big one and toward the right side to reverberate off a person as we got some beautiful camera work. Good side there alongside Kelly and Frank. Good work there. And at 15:45, we're going to have some housekeeping because that was some violent fights that we had there and near the left side of the dot. So in between Formica and Person, and then Chris Seeley, we had some fights there. So I'll mark that down at 15:45 in my notes as we will get everything squared away. Again, I'll have to make sure that I talk a little bit over this for the YouTube side because you don't get copyrighted with the music. But at 15:45, that is when all heck broke loose. Again, I could probably get some light curse in here. I don't think anyone would mind, but we'll keep it as clean as we can. But we'll mention this in toward the left side. Anything clean alongside the laundry and the gloves. It just got pretty chaotic as Gibbons able to brush from the corner. Again, Chris Seeley coming to the defense. And Formica takes a big hit. I mean, okay, Formica takes that hit. Person wants to go ahead and finish what he started. Chris Seeley just coming to his defense. And things got a little bit nuts. I mean, we got 3 fights already. There's some big ones that we've had in this game alongside the big score line that we have now as it sits 10-2. Is this the most fights that I've seen in one game in the MIHL? I think my answer is yes, and through a year and a half work alongside with the Sharks. Again, I'm privileged to cover the home games, but as it stands, I think I can say this now with 15:45 left to go in the second. Again, we'll give our scoreline update as we start the third for Muskegon and the Warhawks, but it looks like the Sharks have punched their ticket to the MIHL finals unless there is a catastrophe on the other end. I don't see that happening with Elijah Gibbons in the goal crate, so just be completely honest. But a tone was set, and it looks like Gaylord Snow from last year, Alpena 45ers now, are going to get some bitter medicine, and that was definitely served at the 15:45 marker, and that will be something we'll be thinking about for a while. So we're underway. It's going to be a 5-minute major I see on the board right now for the Sharks to work with, but I imagine that we should get some offsetting fighting alongside Luke Formica and maybe some Chris Seeley stuff as well for the Sharks, but really can't put any blame on them, and I can't even say that as a company man. As Spencer Bowman now off the drop. Here is Siegel. Siegel now will go ahead and figure this one out near the right side dot. Kept in there for Cole Helgamo. Siegel. And now to Cole. Here's a stretch pass. Good stick in the lane and knock that one away alongside Cam Bernicki. But the job's not done now as the Sharks can go ahead and do whatever the heck they want to do here. Helgamo walks in. This one out toward the right side of the post and sent back down. Full sail clear. So officially it is going to be a Sharks power play. This one turned over for the moment. Elijah Gibbons went out to play it. Went a little bit too far, and it's going to be a short-handed goal for Alpena. That's going to do little to change the score line, but it's going to be a second short-handed goal that we saw in this game, one for each side. So at 14:57, we have a short-handed goal there for Alpena as Elijah Gibbons went to go out and play the puck, and that one is going to get slam dunked into an open net. Face-off will be won alongside for Joel Skolin as Alpena will start with possession there momentarily, but the Sharks settle this one down. Kieran Carwell. Touchdown off the backhand. Here's his setup. As this will be settled back down now in the high slot. Kieran Carlisle off the touch. One more feed as this one will get knocked away. I'll have to look at the replay on the side of it once it's done. I missed the goal announcement, but it was definitely a short-handed one for Alpena that made it 10-3. Again, we'll give you those replays alongside the Goal Live Sportscast a little bit later tonight, as this one is right in the trapper here for Payne. I always follow along with the game tape on that side alongside give you the game story at hopeasportsguy.wordpress.com. That's probably going to be around Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to be a little bit of a late birthday celebration because I didn't do that on Saturday because of game 1. So try to get that done on Sunday. Papandrea, he's already got a couple. This one hit Struble right in the stomach. He's down, back and behind the mesh. Here's a one-timer now in from the point, and somehow Struble found that one behind him. So 10-3 is your score line, as we'll get some full cell changes here for both squads. Again, thank you for joining us here on the Goal Live Sportscast TCL channel 3080. Goal Live Sportscast per usual. Papandrea off the stutter stop has this one in the high slot. Sharks kept on the outside right now with Kieran Carlisle. Go ahead and set this one up for Theo Goody. Fakes the slapper. Here comes the bomb. Big rebound. It was loose out in front of the goal mouth. It's not cleared out. Sent toward the net again. And this one's blocked aside by the defense out in front of Payne. Right in between the legs, but it's left here for Papandrea. Keeping alive on his back skate. Still trying to keep that puck on a string. Here's another chance in from the point. Sharks looking like they're going for a little bit of target practice. As this one's flipped down the ice. I think Elijah Gibbons will make this one a little more clean. Again, you can afford to make a mistake when you're out by as much as you are, but when you think about that play again, I bet you that doesn't happen against the Muskegon Voyagers, should that be the case in a couple weeks or whenever we play the finals. Siegel finds the entry by his lonesome now. Will whoop his way in behind the net. On his forehand. Still trying to survey are the Sharks. It's Cole Hogemo. Kieran Carlisle now off the spin and certainly for Cole right at the point. Fake the slap pass across. Kieran Carlisle walks into a better lane. Here's a shot that goes high and off the inboards from Zach Milkowski. Sharks still trying to figure out something around the embankment. It's Spencer Bowman. Back alongside for Milkowski as they're kept on the outside. It is 12:30 left to go in the second. Shot will go wide on the left side of the red line. Spencer Bowman gets the retrieval. Again, Sharks still 1:35 of the 5 minutes as Justin McComas now try to leave for Bowman in between some skate blades, and all the way down was Payne, sprawled and made the save. So about 2:43 Eastern as we sit in the middle of the second. We're almost halfway through this one. And it looks like it's already been decided from the first period as we sat at a 7-2. And now we sit at 10-3 officially. This one bounces off a Cole Hogemo's skate. Again, even off the clear, and that one's not going to feel very good. Siegel. Take a rolling puck the other way. Opportunity here for Zach Milkowski. See if he can do it himself. He almost dipsy-doodles to the entire defense. And here's an opportunity rolling all the way down the ice for James Riers. Elijah Gibbons will beat him to the puck. And Cole Hogemo off the outstretch. Spencer Bowman wants it as he's looking towards center ice. Outstretched toward the right wing. It's Hogemo. Bowman now working his way in front of the net, providing that screen. That's what Grego was doing yesterday. Here's a sit up there alongside for Seeley. This one hits the glass. Kept in now one more time for the Sharks. As to be lofted toward the left side, dot cross ice pass. McComas tries to get a lift. This one centered toward the left post. It was knocked away by Payne and then sent back down the ice. So Alpena, you got to give them credit at least for this 5-minute kill. They scored a short-handed goal and it looks like they might not concede anything. As it's now toward the blue line side, Cole Hogemo falls down, trying to make a play. This one not out though. As it's settled back around side for Tom Myers, takes a hit, and Payne is going to have to hold on. So just 6 seconds left to go here on the power play. The 5-minute advantage here for the Sharks, and I apologize for a little bit of the ramble, but once they told me about the music copyright, I want to make sure that the YouTube side still holds, so let that do justice for everything else. As Papandrea, and off the back skate, this one bounces away for Polosha, and then sent wide. The Sharks will pick this one up off the kick plate as they have it toward the right side red line. There'll be a backhand toward a bunch of traffic, and Alpena essentially clear this one down the ice. Icing should be, thought it was going to get waved off for a moment if Brian Bjornholm would get there, but no. So there's going to be some tired bodies on the ice for Alpena. So now toward the left side dot, you got Karen Carlisle to take this draw. This one bounced off a Struble rebound, and this one will be shoved across. Polosha has got his 4th of the game. He is continuing to do the damage he's done all year. He's had 5 total because he scored yesterday. He's got 4 today as far as the playoff side, so 5 goals in 2 games. Pretty good start there for Andrew Polosha, but Sharks will take that more so of the 2-0 series win. It looks like they're destined to get so Polosha with the latest, that's his 4th. As this one's picked off, and Patrick Smith has it for a moment here for Alpena as we've officially hit the halfway marker of this game. But man, this turned into a bloodbath. Again, blood in the water is the moniker there for the Sharks that they use that tagline. It's looked like it.
Assisted by number 16, Kieran Carlisle, and number 23, Hunter Keppel.
So Hunter Keppel is continuing to have a good playoff there alongside the 3rd line forward. Kieran Carlisle gets the primary assist to Polosha's 4th of the game. As we get some more physicality, Rubin getting tied up there back in behind his own net as the Sharks try to find this puck. Find an entry here for Cam Bernicki. Save there off of the glove of Elijah Gibbons. And a good touch pass the other way from Jake Prober. Kiss this one off the glass, a little bit too far for Justin McComas. He's got some pretty good speed, but that was too many strides to make up as Tim Schmidt. Now we'll have this one for Alpena. You got Sean Sharipa with him, and this shot will get solved in the corner. Sharipa now gets the retrieval. Scored one of the early goals in this game for Alpena, but they're going to need a lot more. There's a big glove save. Elijah Gibbons trying to hold on to it. He just knocks it away with the stick as players will fall in the middle of the traffic. Another shot. This one saved by Gibbons off the stick blade. Sent back down by Payne. And start this one again. And alongside for Michael Perry. Dispossess off the long pickup. It's McComas. McComas going to need some help in his own end. Elijah Gibbons bails him out with the left pad. Sharks try to take this one left to right, but it's stolen. And then immediately Spencer Bowman. It's a one-on-one. Walks in, shoots with the wrister. This one will be knocked aside by Payne. So Struble got the start in game 1 and the 3rd period as the backup for Payne, and now Payne is the backup here. Looks to be the rest of the way, I would imagine. You don't normally see 2 goalie swaps. For Micah, maybe needs to get some equipment adjusted. They got to make sure those kids stay away from the door. Looks like he's okay though as he's walking underneath his own power. Maybe just some equipment that he's got to get fixed up. You never know alongside. These games do get a little bit long. I'll just leave the rest of it to your imagination as this will be sent back around the other way and picked up now for Siegel in his own end. He takes a big hit, able to stay on his feet, and the puck will go all the way down the ice nonetheless. And the Zebras say no ice, so we will press on. John Ryder with you alongside the Go Live Sportscast. Sharks, big advantage in this one, trying to finish the job. Siegel walks in off the rebound. The first one saved by Payne, and the second one as well, as he just gloves it up and holds on. A little bit of a juggling act, but no problem there. Not sure where the tension level is going to be as far as all the physicality, because we already had 2 fights in this period. We had one in the first alongside with Max Campbell. Just trying to make a change at the bench, couldn't really do so, and that's when things got escalated. Not imagine we'll get much more. Is off the outside of the crossbar and up into the netting and out of play. We'll do it again. So officially, when this is all said and done, I'll give you the particulars as far as when we think the MIHL finals are going to start, but the game recap and everything else as far as the video and everything I'll put there probably be up around Tuesday. We're going to have some fun tonight to get kind of things settled in on Monday and get it finalized on Tuesday, throw it on the MIHL website and all of that. As always, at hopelesssportsguide.wordpress.com. We'll throw it on the MIHL hockey shift and all that for those that want to follow along officially. I just link the story out after. So stolen away from Perry. Here's Cole Helgamo as we get some more pushing and shoving here. Zach Molkowski, the stick one's up pretty high. Molkowski now getting face washed. I don't like this on the side for the Sharks. Alpena's trying to take too many liberties here. I'm trying to be as neutral as I can. Molkowski is going to be the gentleman. Again, know some of the other words exchanged probably won't be, but this is a little bit too much here for Alpena. And when you're losing on the scoreboard the way that you are, and you try to get the roughhouse going, I'm going to tell you first and forthright, that's not going to intimidate the Sharks. Not in the slightest. You couldn't even do the same thing against the Muskegon Voyagers, because all it's going to do is look like a coal bin on the other end. Looks like the extra penalty was definitely going to go against Alpena off the face wash that Molkowski, number 10, received. More words being exchanged alongside Cole Helgamo. And now I see Spencer Bowman going to make his way toward the door. Did they just kick out Spencer Bowman is my question, because he slammed the door pretty hard and he was not happy about it. If they kicked out Spencer Bowman, my guess would be he already got a penalty for a misconduct earlier, and when you get a second one, the refs have the discretion to say, hey, you're gone. But in my defense to Spencer, if that is the case, I'm just speculating, there is a lot to say there for the Sharks that probably could have been called, especially in the first for tripping. And I can leave it at that. Again, for the music copyright, I don't want to get too much here, but I won't try to motor mouth it either. But there could have been a lot that's called on both sides. With 7:12 left to go in this middle frame. So a lot of housekeeping has been done so far. So at 7:12 officially, .712 has started the penalty parade.
We have an Alpena 45 penalty at 7 minutes and 12 seconds of the second period. A cross check by number 56.
So a cross check for Jack Vautour.
At 7 minutes and 12 seconds of the second period. By number 71, Spencer Bowman. With an unsportsmanlike and misconduct. He will receive a 10-minute.
And Spencer Bowman is going to get a 10-minute misconduct. That's his second penalty. I imagine Spencer Bowman's misconduct, so again, my conjecture earlier was probably closer to correct than not, that the refs had too much of the motor mouth. But again, in my defense to Spencer Bowman, I think a lot could have been called in this game that probably wasn't. And Alpena has taken some liberties, and the captaincy wants to step up for his team. Can't throw any blame there. Here's a race now for the puck. It's a one-on-one against Gibbons. And James Riers really did not get what he wanted on that. As we'll start again for Kieran Carlisle. Carlisle off the spin and pirouette. Again, he's got hands of a magician. Settle now for Polosha, who has 4 in this game. Polosha take this one D to D, and alongside Theo Goody. Now for Polosha. Kieran Carlisle toward the right side red line. Set up the one-timer. That is a fantastic glove save. And for Payne, you got to give him full marks for that incredible stop. Even in a game like this, 4-on-4 play is where the Sharks absolutely dominated in game 1. And that is at least what we'll have for a minute 13. But again, Bowman's got a 10-minute misconduct, so that would settle him out for all of the second and some of the third, if that is correct. Now Zach Molkowski on his backhand. He gets taken down toward the net, and we'll see if Alpena can race the other way. Joel Skolin trying to do it himself on the backhand. This one will be solved with the left pad by Elijah Gibbons. Segol. Now for McComas off the leave. Sharks just trying to get settled here from right to left for this rest of the second. Again, you could have a laundry list of everything in this game. You could add a whole story from the first period, and again, we still got one more to go. Siegel off the reverse, strong enough to stay with it. It's McComas off the leave, one-timer attempt, and Payne will slide all the way over to Rob Keppel. Now, my only other concern at this point is not the other fights, but if the Sharks decide in a game like this that they want to take some liberties, I think that they would have some rights to, considering what was received, but all you really got to do is look at the scoreboard, and I think cooler heads can prevail there. For Seeley, this is slowly deflected, and now Alpena will have an opportunity to try to take this right to left. Again, they got the cream color and the black stripe, the Waterford Sharks, and the home blacks with the orange and white striping. Cody Bordeaux off the spin and leave. The shovel in the corner, McComas braces for a hit. Failed clearing attempt will bounce right back to the Sharks, and they'll concede in for a long flip as Rogalong gets dispossessed for a moment. And now toward the right side, here's a cross-ice pass, one more feed, and a tic-tac-toe there for Alpena. That was pretty. That makes it 11-4. Good tic-tac-toe feed there for the Alpena 45ers. Backdoor 1T, no chance for Gibbons. That's not going to do much but to continue to add the numbers on the score clock for those that have had a long day, and alongside for Kelly down there. I know she's been busy with the fingers alongside the broadcast, Frank with all the cameras. There's been a lot to do as far as these goals as we sit in for an 11-4. And now will be a touch pass all the way down the ice. When we get those officially announced, we'll throw that across for you at 4:45. So this will be hitting off the glass. I'm trying to look on the other side as far as the extra assist here for the 45ers, but I'm not seeing that on the score sheet, but I do have it alongside for Jack Vautour with the latest. And speaking of the latest here into the back side of the post, it was pretty close at 4:09 as this one goes off the outside of the crossbar. Sharks will take their change. We'll see if it's... We're still going to stay where we are here. So again, that did go off the outside of the crossbar, did not go in. Just trying to get all that stuff at the same time. When 15 goals are scored, there's a lot to work with in the notes. Picked up here for a moment here for Theo Goody. And now Kieran Carwell ride the blue line beautifully. Set up here for Kieran, walk in, good save, Payne. And this one will go outside of the right post. Now kept in here for Goody for a moment, trying to hold that blue line. Trucks are out. So we'll have to step back up here to let everybody get on side. Polosha. Now leave for Keppel. Good spot to shoot from, and this be caught right in the chest of Payne. So all that's left here is the third period when we got about another 3:35. When we get toward that side of it, I'm going to leave an update as Kieran Carlisle off the lift. He had his hand in an air like he thought he was going to score. I thought he was going to be able to put that one over to the right side of the mesh, but this stays with McComas. Keeps it on side off his skate. There's a pass that gets centered. It's going to bounce right back to him. There's so many foot soldiers out in front of the net right now as the Sharks now leave for Justin McComas. Ochiki put this one across the boards here and start again. Polosha now for Kieran Carlisle. Crisscross pass in toward the left side as this is in tight. And an opportunity again gets finished off by the Sharks as Graham Payne was probably thinking about everything else that he could do other than stop the puck because that wasn't going to happen. It sits at 12-4. I'm going to make sure I use that second cough drop by the time we get to the third period because I'm going to need it. 16 goals in totality. An average of 6 per period for the Sharks. That is going to be able to get the job done. And they don't need any more, but considering everything else that happened in this period, I bet the Sharks will try to get some more. Stick gets taken out of the hands. We got a little bit of laundry there that Alpena goes back to pick up with Sean Sharipa. And a little housekeeping in front of the net. Theo Goody takes care of that off the long flip. As this is recollected here for Helgamo. He tries to lift this one short side.
61, his fifth of the game, Andrew Kaluja, assisted by number 16, Kieran Carlisle, and number 23, Hunter Pepler.
So at 10:19, it was Polosha from Carlisle and Keppel, and a 3:01, our latest. It's that same line again. Polosha's got 5. Have we ever seen a double hat in a game? I know it's happened before because Rios had 7 for Alpena, but 6-goal game potentially on the line for Andrew Polosha. But again, more importantly, that big win that the Sharks are looking for to go to the MIHL finals. Mulkowski, nice move. Here's a cross pass, set it up for Helgamo off the back door, and this is long flip try to get onside with Shripa. And they're going to say offsides for Alpena, so they're going to have to skate back. Shripa was trying to hunt for offense. Cole Helgamo gets taken down. Is that going to be a call? 1:53 left to go in this second. Elijah Gibbons got his hand in the air saying, are we going to call anything today on the other side? Or is it just going to be for Alpena? That's, I think, his thought process up in the air. So it'll be a face-off opportunity for Jack Valtor. So Valtor tried to get this one in the offensive end for Alpena. Got Sean Sharipa on the back skate with him. Here's a chance. And alongside this gets knocked away as Nick Perry's shot gets saved by Gibbons. And here are the Sharks. Max Campbell now in off the rush. Bounces up off the hand-eye. Sharks with Papandrea, who's already found the goal sheet. Again, a lot of the Sharks have, but it's been a running tally. Chance off the backboards here. We'll bounce right to Payne. So about $1:30 left, 90 seconds to go here in this second frame. My name's John Ott, alongside the Go Live Sportscast. I appreciate you being with us here. In between the website, Go Live Sportscast, TCL Channel 3080, Go Live Sportscast on YouTube. There's a simulcast for all of us today and a big score line for Waterford. Papandrea will set this one in as Ruben Galong will watch toward the right side of the blue line. And now off the long flip, Papandrea is going to easily get there first as we're down to the final minute of the second. Settle back down alongside for Tom Myers. He'll bounce this one in off the glass, but this goes right to the Sharks, who snipe it immediately. This was a brutal giveaway alongside for Myers. And no problem there for Jared Siegel. And the coal bin, we already know that started, but that is where we are. So one of the games, let me say it as plain as day, Waterford dropped an 18 spot on Alpena. And one of the final games they played at Lakeland Ice Arena in the regular season. And then Alpena did give up a 22 spot at Buffalo Wild Wings just about a week and a half ago.
Goal scored at 52 seconds left in the second period. Unassisted goal scored by number 26, Jared Siegel.
So my official third period start, I'll be using this second sheet of paper because that's how much we've had. Max Campbell now off the clear in. Max Campbell will try to get to it as this will be deflected away, and now Alpena with a chance to start again. Alpena's got 4 goals. They got more than they got yesterday, but they gave up a whole heck of a lot more as we're down to the final 10 seconds. No ice mercifully We will end the second period. The Waterford Sharks already scored 7 in the first. They score 6 more times here. Alpena does get a couple more, but it's 13-4 after 2. When we come back, I will give you the update as far as Muskegon all the way across. We've still got another 20 minutes left to go. I'll give you the other updates on the Facebook side as far as the goal score tallies, because that does help me as well as far as the game story. Those should be up around Tuesday, Wednesday. But we got 20 more minutes left to go on this one. MIHL final, semifinal, game 2. Sharks going to be going to the finals. We got 20 more minutes left. It's 13-4. Come back. as far as what we will have in the third period, again, we have everything decided as far as the outcome. Now we just need to figure out what the final score is going to be. That is anybody's guess as it sits at 13-4. Let me see if I can give you an update as far as the Muskegon Voyagers. Look across their page. Again, their update is after one period, it's 3-0 Voyagers, goals by Taylor Pitcher and Zach Cuthbertson. And that's all I'm seeing right now. So 3-0 lead for Muskegon against the Warhawks. Again, they ended up winning that game 5-2 last night. This one is 13-4, and everything has really already been decided. I'm going to give you the second period reset just in case there's any of you that haven't been following along across this entire game. So there was a lot. 13-4 is our score right now. Cordy Bordeaux and Jack Vautos scored for the 45ers. But Papandrea, Helgamo, McComas, Polosha all score. Polosha has a couple. He's got 5. But here's the big note for me that I want to mention. The captaincy, Spencer Bowman, number 71. He got a 10-minute misconduct. It was the second penalty of the game. Now, for me, I'm not even just saying this as a accompaniment. I'm being completely honest. There's no blame. Roughhousing has been rampant. We already saw fights from Max Campbell and Sean Sharipa. And then the first and then the second period, Roddy Person and Luke Formica. Liberties had certainly been taken in that second period. And in my humble opinion, just being as completely honest and forthright as I can be, the Sharks certainly in their right to try to take advantage of some of that stuff if they want to in the third. And I feel like Spencer Bowman probably was stepping up for his line mates and was upset that some of these were not called. And he was probably right. So he's going to miss most of this second period, I would say probably for about 4.5 minutes. If everything is in particular, unless he's been tossed from the game. I didn't hear anything about that. But he was stepping up for his teammates and some of these liberties as reverse hit Olkowski. This one will be sent back down. Picked up by Papandrea and then deflected as Sharks look to break out here for Cole Helgamo. Helgamo now will play his backhand as he'll circle this one around for Max Campbell. Campbell now off the leave. Here's a good sauce now for Papandrea. Rister will kiss the glass and go up and out of play. I do want to pass this alongside from Mama Shark Laura Gregorich. Golf with the Waterford Sharks, Saturday, June 14, 2025. The links at Crystal Lake Golf Course. And then it's the third annual golf outing, Saturday 14th, at the beautiful links at Crystal Lake in Pontiac. 8 warm-up in the morning and 9 a.m. tee-off. $500 for a foursome. Registration and fees due by June 1st, 2025. You can contact Laura Gregorich at 248-807-2162 or at lgregorich.wfsharks@gmail.com. Whole sponsorships, you can contact the general manager, Nick Parrott, at 248-887-0703. Want to make sure to get that shout out there as long as the broadcast. And that's around the 18:45 marker of the third if you need any reference as far as broadcasting notes. Kieran Carlisle work his way toward the left side. Dot leave for Keppel. Extra pass, and this one will be blocked to the side. Alongside the pickup of Cam Bernicki. And have to start again for Alpena. So let me flip this one across now as far as my notes because we have a lot of papers out in front of me to get all the announcements, to talk to everybody about TCL and the Go Live Sportscast pursued on the YouTube page, alongside the website per usual, and everyone else joining in on this one. It's been a matinee day blowout for the Sharks, and I did get the official word before we started the third period that the MIHL finals will begin this coming weekend. So there will be the ice time reserved just in case everything else did happen as expected, and it looks like that's going to be the case. So as it stands, the MIHL finals will begin on Saturday and Sunday at the Lakeshore Sports Center in Muskegon. This is Jared Siegel, unless we get anything else in particular with the Warhawks, but I don't think that's going to happen because last check it was 3-0 for Muskegon. 17:30 left to go in this third as the puck is in the left side corner of our blind spot. Be recollected now for Siegel off the step up. As the puck is still sitting in that same place right now. Here emerges Max Campbell, and this will get picked off the other way for Joel Skolin, who's got the puck. And off the back pass, but a little bit too much there. As the Sharks will get repossession, we'll cough it up, and this one will be sent back in for Michael Perry. Elijah Gibbons will come onto the goal crease to play it. Sharks will try to take this right to left as a slap shot will go into the back of the net. So not much celebration there for the Alpena 45ers, but they will add one more to the goal total. This one got just taken away right in the middle of the dots. A little bit of a cough up there for the Sharks. A couple of goals that have probably been uncharacteristic as Elijah Gibbons went onto the goal crease, got messed up on a shorthanded, and then the one giveaway there as it sits at 13-5. So that one was at 16:58. We'll get those official announcements to you in a moment. Right toward the right side, Payne will fall on it. So Sean Shrippa is going to get the primary. There is going to be no other assist to have at that one as it sits at 13-5. If Alpena gets maybe 3 more unanswered in the span of about 4 minutes, then we might have something to talk about here. But that's really all there is to it right now. They would need to score in bunches. And if you're looking at sand and the hourglass as far as goal increments, probably got to be another goal in a minute and a half unanswered for the next 4 or 5 if we're going to have something to talk about. Jake Prober. Now for Cole Halgamo. That was beautifully done and off the skates. Here's a cross ice feed, and that one will hit the backboards. Just settle back down off the flip. And picked up by Milkowski. Now here's a race for it as walk-in Shupapandria. He missed a little bit high, and now an opportunity off the stop. Here is Alpena trying to run some offense now with Perry. Plays this one off the embankment. It gets shoveled away, kept in off of a long clear. And now have to settle back down. Alpena is going to go ahead and try to give chase to this for Tom Myers. 15:50 left to go in this third. As the Sharks take this one from the point, it's Siegel. Now Zach Milkowski on his back skate. Milkowski, a turnaround shot will get deflected. We will start this one again alongside for Myers. Try to get it out, but the Sharks do steal. Fake the slap pass and work in behind the net. There's a centering feed. This one gets picked off and a little bit too far there for Roddy Person as he tried to hunt for the breakaway. Just to McComas. Make a back pass here. Be careful that you don't want to run into Siegel there. That one might hurt. Just to McComas. Now on the right side wing. Gets around one man off the backhand. Lifts it. And misses it just high. Siegel now waiting on the backhand side just in case. But beautiful backhand defense here for the Sharks. Off the dispossessed. That was good work for Justin McComas as he can go ahead and take a chains. Play goes the other way as Polusha was on double hat watch. That one misses high. And now Alpena try to escape the other way in the cream color with the black pants. Here's an opportunity. Bordeaux off the drop pass. And that feed goes a little bit high there off the glass from James Riers. Gibbons brushed it into the corner. Rolling puck will go down the ice. Hand in the air says Payne, and that's what will get late icing there against the Sharks. I think they're just discussing where they want to drop the puck. And as the Sharks are just going to do this one at center ice, it looks like with Kieran Carwell. Jack Lautor will be the opposer. Kieran Carlisle going to go ahead and win this draw as Hunter Keppel emerges with it. Keppel now toward the right side dot. Takes a shot in front of the traffic. Polosha, that was a backdoor save. Just able to get a pad on it there was Payne. Now Seeley will throw it ahead. Be recollected alongside for Cam Bernicki. And then immediately intercepted by Nick Papandrea. Papa G's pretty smooth with the puck. He'll take a long flip there and beautifully done there for the Sharks. They got Polosha on the off wing with Keppel. Sends it across for Andrew, trying to get him his 6th goal of the game. This is kept in by Seeley now off the shot. And Payne's got a hold of it as he falls down in a full sprawl. So not too much work to do here for the Waterford Sharks. All that's really left is to bleed that clock out. Pena still try to maybe get a couple more to the good The bonus for them is they scored more than they did last night when it was an 8-3 game, but this one really not much closer. Never really felt that way. Joel Skolin now toward the right side. Gibbons. He will elect to hold in off the long reach. So we look to be aiming at about a 4 o'clock Eastern release as far as when this game is finalized. I'll try to give you one more update as far as the Muskegon Voyagers and the Warhawks as well. But again, last hold for Muskegon in Game 2. They already won Game 1 5-2, but they lead 3-0 after 1. Perry gets dispossessed. Mulkowski now. It's a 3-on-1 for the Sharks. Helgamo missed it all. Blows a tire, but he's going to be safe there as a pop back up to his feet. And now Alpena, Patrick Smith. He scores right in off the rush. So a 3-on-1 for the Sharks does not materialize, but in the ensuing possession the other way, the Alpena 45ers get another goal. So right at 13-12, it's back-to-back unanswered goals here for the Sharks, or for the 45ers, and we will see if anything else materializes. Graham Payne is just going to go get a little bit of a Gatorade break as I see him go back into his net. But it was a 3-on-1 for the Sharks, did not materialize, and then right the other way, the 45ers on the counterattack score. Off the long shot, this one bounces off the stick of Givens and up and out of play.
Alpena 45ers goal scored at 13 minutes and 12 seconds of the third period. Goal scored by number 7, Patty Smith, assisted by number 13, Joe Skalin, and number 10, Brian Bjornholm.
So Patrick Smith from Joel Skolin and Brian Bjornholm makes it 13-6. Couple unanswered goals for the 45ers to make the score line a little bit closer. Again, they're still going to need a couple more to at least keep my 4 eyes thinking about some other things, as this is a 2-on-0 for the Sharks. McComas cross touch. That is absolutely nasty, and finished off for just a McComas. So again, for anything as close as Alpena just got, just the McComas said about that. We'll make it 14-6. So when you get the jailbreak the other way, you got to make it look academic, and that's exactly what the boys just did at 12:36. The 20th goal of the game. Was that the prettiest one is the question.
Waterford Sharks goal scored at 12 minutes, 30
We're going to have another one here as well. So 91-8. I wanted to make sure I was quiet enough. I apologize for missing that goal call. There's been a lot of them for the Sharks. Just want to make sure I got the actual numbers there right for the story. And now we got to finish off alongside for Kieran Carlisle as the latest. So 15-6. Again, Kelly's doing a better job than I. I'm almost struggling to get him in an abacus down here. As Nick Papandrea. And off the rush, offsides with Keppel.
Goal scored by number 23, Hunter Keppel, assisted by number 16, Kieran Carlisle, and number 6, Theo Goody.
So Keppel's got a few, Kieran Carlisle does, and now Theo Goody with another assist. If I need a third piece of paper, then we know everything is absolutely unprecedented at this point, but I would not be surprised if that is the case. So Sharks start with puck possession again is Kieran Carlisle on his back skate. Look to get going again. This one bounces off of Brian Bjornholm and sent back down in the Sharks' end. Try to take this one from right to left. Here is Keppel. Fresh off just scoring a goal, already got a couple Loose out in front, a couple of bounces now. And Payne will hold on. So again, it was the statuesque between both goalies that we thought it could be. Again, you had Graham Payne as the starter in game one, Struble as the backup. Both goaltenders in 2 games play 60 minutes. They just split off in between periods as they're trying to get the jaws thing going with the Sharks. So you can play that as many times as you wanted to. As long as I talk over it, it's not going to YouTube copyright. With 15 goals, it's already been overdue. Goes from right to left. And now an opportunity for Papandrea. He'll skate in. He's got a ton of speed. He'll leave off the outside here for Spencer Bowman. So again, off that 10-minute misconduct, he's going to get a chance to finish out the rest of this game. So it was through the middle of the third before he got a chance to check back in. I'm sure Spencer Bowman's probably going to get one. I'm going to call it. As this is toward the left side, you know he wants a fever pitch considering everything else that happened. Again, I said this in all honesty in front of the notes. I'm not going to put any blame on the captaincy for stepping up for his teammates because there was a lot of liberties. Sharipa. And off the drive, good save. Gibbons, he gets all tied up. Again, the Sharks aren't going to like that. Siegel now. And behind his own net off the lay for Milkowski. Long outstretched pass for 71 off the back skate. Good feed. Hogamo scores! That was pretty nice. A one touch there for Bowman. Late for Cole Hogamo. And that was a crisp pass. 16-6.
I really like those Waterford Sharks.
At 10-22. Hogamo from Bowman. Again, that's my latest unless we get Milkowski, a secondary, which definitely could be. Here is a 2-on-2. Chance for Gibbons off the left pad as someone got knocked away, and Tim Schmidt. Now we get some push. So I did get that right on the first time, so I feel good about that. Hogamo from Bowman and Milkowski at 10-22 as we're halfway through the third. So here is what I'll aforemention and say this. 10 goals. This game's already decided. I would start the running clock right at 10 goals. That's usually where we get her on the high school side of it. I know that's not where we are for the MIHL, but that is my aforementioned change to Mr. Scott Brand. We'll see what he thinks about it. As this will be recollected now near the right side boards. Jake Prober trying to get around some of that foot traffic as Perry canceled off near the right side boards. Couple of finish hit, braces for contact there, Tim Schmidt. Trying to pry the vulcanized rubber loose, but McComas, nice little dipsy doodle. And alongside Leaf for Rule. There's McComas now. Lopez way in behind the net and off the Leaf. Start again for the Sharks. Try to go ahead and send this across the blue line, but it gets sent back. No problem there for Nick Papandrea. Off the stutter stop. Still continue to chip this one off the glass. Perry gets a pick off. And now the Sharks have numbers. Late arriving back there, he got Andrew Polosha in a bid for 6. That one just eludes it as he has to take a hit. Able to stay with the puck now alongside Max Campbell. Will this get cleared out of the zone? No, it won't. Theo Goody keeps it in. Now Elijah Gibbons off the look. See what he can do here. That one goes just wide. Elijah Gibbons didn't give him much to shoot at. Here for James Rears. And now Polosha. Chance from the corner, big rebound. Rears will get to it near the right side of the boards. And off the long flip. Sharks will intercept. Here's an opportunity for Papandrea. Papandrea now on his backhand. He gets denied. Rebound goes just behind the mesh. He tried to center it through the blue pink. Siddle back down now off the long clear. Elijah Gibbons. Siddle will handle this. Go ahead and kiss it off the glass now for Papandrea. Theo Goody off the touch. Gibbons got to get back out of his goal crease again. A little awkward there trying to retrieve. This net's wide open. And for the second time this game, Elijah Gibbons, this time he was near the right side boards. That's no exaggeration, but for the second time this game, the Alpena 45ers are going to get a freebie, and this time at 8:01 of the third. So 16-7. That's pretty much an empty net goal, even though it's not going to be classified as one. And usually when that happens, the Sharks come down the other way and almost score. They almost did there. Siegel now for Prober. This is one knocks off the glass there for Kieran Carlisle. Carlisle now trying to pick up off the backhand. Here's Carlisle off the feed. So Cameron Bernicki and Roddy Person will give the primary secondaries there, and alongside for James Reurse, who's got one. That's one of the easiest goals he'll ever get, as it's 16-7. Jake Prober now in toward the right side boards. Here's a shot for Polosha. This gets deflected in between some skate blades. Sharks will be able to keep it in for Siegel. Now an opportunity for Hunter Keppel on his backhand off the sauce. It's a good pass here for Prober. Try to shoot that one high. Good glove save for Payne right at 7 minutes. So I can't read too much into what gets out of hand and what doesn't. But what I will say, in a game like this, there's been 3 cough-ups by the Sharks. 2 of them from the net side, and then 1 that was picked off in the middle of the slot. You can't have those happen against the Voyagers, but in a game like this that has been so lopsided, you can forgive some of those mistakes. But I do expect on the defensive end, when needed to be, when you're playing against guys like Riley Picture on the back end, who's premium with Jack Kudak in the goal crease next week, that some of that will be cleaned up. What's appropriated now on the ice is a Waterford Sharks power play for a delay of game. Again, only because of the hitting the netting, it stays in there, but it's going to be the Sharks power play. Does Elijah Gibbons, and this is just me calling my shot, this would be Babe Ruth, does he just take a shot at the net considering what the score line is? That would be something completely new. Again, you can laugh about that, but again, this is where we are as far as the score line. Here will be an opportunity, a no-look touch pass there from Bowman to Helgamo, and the Sharks have possession in the offensive end. About 6:15 left to go in the third. Cross-ice feed, Bowman. Now for Siegel, Papandrea. A one-touch back to Jared. We'll let it go into the traffic, and this one will be deflected off the left pad there of Payne. Sharks have possession in behind the net. This will be just picked up off the back skate. Sharks now try to press there. Siegel took the stick right out of the hands of one of the 45ers. That lumber went flying. We'll start the other way now for Gibbons and slowly put around the embankment. Got about 5:45 left to go in this third. John Eder with you alongside the Go Live Sportscast. Thank you for joining in alongside the YouTube, TCL, and everything else through the normal stream Go Live Sportscast per usual. Spencer Bowman, as that pass eludes the outstretched stick. Now it's Papandrea. Bowman off the give and go. We'll take the wrister. This one goes up and out of play. .33 seconds left to go in the man advantage. But it's got to be one thing that feels deflating. I know it's a playoff game now, but Alpena's had a game where they surrendered 22 against Waterford, 18, and now 16. And there's just not much to do except lick your wounds and move on, and that's what they're going to have to do, as the Sharks will be moving on to the MIHL finals, and Alpena is going to take that long bus ride back. He's settled now for Theo Goody and Andrew Polosha, who's still on 6-goal watch. Kieran Carlisle off the stutter stop. 5 seconds here from returning to full strength for Alpena. Kieran Carlisle, as the Sharks are kept to the outside. McComas wanted the 1T in front of the net. I think the pass didn't hit. He didn't fan on it. Just didn't hit his blade. So we're down to the final 5. Sharks now off the leave. And it's Kieran Carlisle. Try to start this in his own. A nice little soft sauce pass, but this will get picked off here for James Reurse. He's got the latest for Alpena on his team. This will be held by Gibbons. 4:30 left to go in this third. And let me see right now if I can give you another update quickly as we're getting close to closing time. Little semisonic. Again, they didn't like the ads that one of the campaigns were using. I'll just leave your imagination at that. But I saw that all over social media. Face-off win and alongside for Waterford. I'm going to flip back up on the Muskegon page really quickly as this one tipped out in front. There was a good stop by Gibbons. Traffic at the net a couple times. And this will go into the left side red line where the players will come together. Justin McComas trying to find this now as Alpena will send it in deep now for Tim Schmidt. Try to get a puck retrieval. Send back and around the end boards. Sharks still trying to work their way out of their own end. They'll do so now finally cleanly off the flip. Rolling puck recollected now for the Central Michigan product and Justin McComas. McComas now will get pinned against the end boards. Get dispossessed for a moment as Alpena tries to get that long flip. This looks more like an exhibition than a playoff game as far as Alpena being able to get those goals, but Sharks really took it to them early and had complete control of this one. McComas. Now off a 3-on-1. McComas now feet out of the air. Slap pass, that one will go wide as Alpena was in the middle of a change. That was a good back pass in the midst of everything that was going on. I think we're going to get either a tripping call or an offsides. I think a trip's going to be called against the Sharks. Right now, upon last check, I still see 3-0 for the Voyagers. No change just yet. So that's all I got right now here for you still. If we got any other updates that I can get to, I'll relay those. So neutral zone draw, no tripping, just an offsides as we get started again. And alongside with the Sharks, long outstretched feet, it's Cole Hogemo. Hogemo off the lead, and that is going to get put in the back of the net. Spencer Bowman said he was going to get one considering what happened to him in the second for the fighting, the misconduct, and all of that, standing up for his teammates. He makes it a 17-7 game. And even in a blowout like this, I'm happy for number 71 to see him get some due diligence and some justice there. So right at about 3 minutes approximated. Spencer Bowman from Cole Hogemo, that's for sure. We'll see if we get a secondary assist. Spencer Bowman now is for Papandrea. Nick work his way behind the net of Payne. 17-7. And speaking of Payne, it's going to end pretty quickly here for Alpena. About 2:30 left to go in the third. There's been a lot of it. Little soft serve as this one bounces here for Zach Molkowski. In toward the left side red line. And Cole Hogemo will send this around the end boards for Spencer Bowman as that wide continues to hum. Here's a centering feed. Molkowski almost put that into a yawning cage as it's gloved down to a knee there by Theo Goody. Goody can take his hand at a shot if he wants to, and be a glove save the other way. Or actually not. 18-7. My apologies. I thought that Payne might have got a piece of it. There might be a hole in the net. That's what the refs are checking on the other side to make sure that either there wasn't a hole or the moorings were not misplaced. But at Theo Goody's wrister, I think that eluded the glove hand of Payne, and it's now 18-7. So Theo Goody with the latest. The Sharks are 2 minutes away to try to get to 20. Do you think that they're going to get there? I asked that when you're going to get to 10 last night when it was 8-3. Now it's 18 goals. So there has been a lot of them for the Sharks. And again, if you're keeping count at home in the last two playoff games from yesterday and today, the Sharks have 26 goals and Alpena has 10. So no shortage of offense. Andrew Polosha. He's still on the hunt for 6. See if Kieran Carlisle wants to feed him one. Polosha on his backhand. He gets his 6th goal of the game. Andrew Polosha makes it 19-7. You know the Sharks were going to hunt for that. And again, you're on a double hat trick watch. It's a special type of game. And Andrew Polosha has another one to count for it. He's got only one less than just to tie it here for Alpena. And when you have that type of game, that really means that you're a special player. And I'm trying to keep this updated as far as the regular season. That's now 6 inside of the one yesterday. That would put Polosha, I believe, at about 41 goals. That is the correct number here. Nice little windmill move here for Alpena on the backhand, and that one will go just wide as we're down to the final 50 seconds. The Waterford Sharks are going to be moving on to the MIHL finals, where they're likely going to play against the Muskegon Voyagers, already up 1-0 in their series. Again, last check was 3-0. I don't think that's going to change too much. Scoreline might get worse, but the result will hold. So I was officially told from Mama Shark that the MIHL finals are going to begin this coming weekend. Saturday and Sunday, I will be on the tour of duty in Muskegon. The only question is how I'm going to be able to get down there, and alongside either Laura or the Go Live Sportscast, or if John Stonehouse is going to work part of that game. We haven't had a chance to see him this season. I want to be down there to do the broadcast and the write-up, just like we did last year, so that's my hope. So my plan is to be on standby for the weekend as the Sharks will make their journey to the MIHL finals, where they'll likely play the Muskegon Voyagers for a third straight year. So a couple seasons ago, Muskegon Voyagers, in the hunt of their three-peat, got their banner as they beat the Waterford Sharks. Waterford Sharks next year, again, you saw that in the highlight as you see in the open of the Go Live Sportscast. I'm part of that package when everybody was celebrating. Sharks got their revenge. Now we'll see if Muskegon or Waterford, if Waterford can win back-to-back titles, or what we have next. That's your final. The Waterford Sharks are moving on to the MIHL finals. They got a smackdown of the Alpena 45ers, 19-7, a double hat trick for Mr. Andrew Polosha, as the Sharks had plenty to celebrate about. Again, your last update alongside the MIHL, it was a 3-0 lead for the Muskegon Voyagers over the Warhawks. But again, it was officially relayed to me, the MIHL finals will begin this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, at Lakeshore Sports Center. All that's left to book is the hotels and the reservations. Again, I'm the voice of the Waterford Sharks, media director, John Hunter with you alongside, but there's a lot of great people that make this broadcast happen alongside Go Live. You got Laura, you got Nick, everybody else alongside the Sharks, the whole family gets everything all situated. I'm just pleased to be able to do some of these broadcasts, but my hope is either alongside Go Live or with John Stonehouse, if he makes his way from the Wheel TV YouTube side, if we can figure out everything a way to get it settled before that, Thursday, Friday into the Saturday, Sunday game, then we'll get it squared away. I'll try to keep it, let you know on social media. As always, if you want to follow me for the latest updates, you can follow MIHL Hockey Shift officially for the commissioner's side in the league. Anything else that gets relayed to me at John Ryan Ott, all one word. Again, that's on the Facebook and the Twitter side. You can follow me alongside YouTube as well. But I'll try to give you those updates once I know it. You can follow along the Waterford Sharks official page and the Muskegon Voyagers as well for any of those updates. I'll try to let you know as soon as I know as far as what the plan is for this weekend. But officially this weekend, it should be the Sharks in Muskegon at Lakeshore Sports Center. And we're just trying to figure out how we get the broadcast to you on that weekend side. What we do know officially after that, Sharks go to the finals to be on the road for games 1 and 2. We will have at least a game 3 of the MIHL finals at Lakeland Ice Arena in the Red Rink. That will be the following week as well. So a lot of laundry list to do in this 19-7 victory, but the Waterford Sharks win the semifinal. They take the best-of-3 series, 2-0. We will talk maybe next week, guys. Hopefully to catch you then. Peace.